Χαίρετε και από μένα.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the beautiful city of Rethymno on the occasion of the conference on breastfeeding with the positive energy of all mothers. It is an honor to be introducing Mrs. Monique Frangouli, who was born in Belgium but has been living in Greece for 50 years. She has 4 children whom she breastfed with the help and through the help of Leche League. And this is what made all the difference. This is what she kept saying in our meetings. She has 6 grandchildren and they have all breastfed, and the little one is still breastfeeding. She is a liaison for the past years, for several years, a liaison, professional liaison, and has been cooperating and with experts abroad, and has been participating in conferences, also seeing the participation of Dr. Newman, Dr. Kendall, and other important academics and scientists. And she sponsors herself. She always covers her own expenses. She has been providing information to all trainers and has always tried to promote the role of La Leche, the fact that we offer support to the mothers who wish to breastfeed. She closely worked with Mrs. Zahu, who was a pediatrician at the Elena Hospital. She has trained many consultants, many professional liaisons, amongst them myself. The most important thing that I learned from Monica is that we have to respect the needs and the wishes of the mothers. We all are very passionate about breastfeeding, and we would like to see all babies breastfeeding. However, our role is merely supportive, and we have to remember that. Once Monica had to wake up during the night to help a desperate mother who would cry, and because her baby was crying and couldn't breastfeed. When we were preparing to publish our first booklet, our first leaflet, we didn't have the money. And Stamatis Frangoulis, husband of Monica, paid for that. It was important for us to be able to provide information in Greek through our work and through this leaflet of ours. Monica and her family have supported our association for years, always in a very discreet and kind way. Now, Monica will talk to us about the work of the association. Thank you very much, Vili. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A new family came to our building, and they were Americans, and I offered to help them with translations and other practical issues. So we became friends, especially because they had a little girl who was at the age of my daughter, and the 2 children would play together. When I remained pregnant again, this mother, she gave me the womanly art of breastfeeding, the La Leche International booklet. At the beginning, I thought, is breastfeeding something that you can learn through a book? And since I already had breastfed 2 children, though I had already breastfed 2 children with many difficulties, but when I read the book, it was like a revelation to me. This is what made me write to the International Association, to La Leche League International. This is what made me write to them. So I wrote to them a letter with a plethora of questions, and I thought that these people, should know something. They should know something about breastfeeding. And I soon received an answer by them. And they wrote me that there was a breastfeeding mother in Athens, and she was from Ireland. And I could come into contact with her And she became my dear friend and colleague and professional liaison consultant, and she still is a very good friend of mine. So I wrote to her from the hospital because I thought that then at home I wouldn't have the time to write a letter. And while the pediatrician was talking about formulas and infant formulas to us, to me and to the other women who had given birth in May in 1989. So this mother phoned me and called me to a meeting at her house. And there we would meet another mother. So there would be 3 of us. My husband was not enthusiastic at all with the idea of me driving up to that meeting with our son, who was only 2 weeks old. So you do understand what that meant to him. But I tried to explain that this was a very important thing for me and that I needed to do it. So a few meetings were held amongst us, among 3 or 4 of us, breastfeeding mothers, and this was a very nice experience. It was really nice for me to be able to go to the Leche League meeting. It was the most important appointment for me, and it would help me recharge, and it would fill me energy and help me go on and overcome difficulties. During our second meeting, some Leche League brochures were left there, and we could take anyone we could. I was so eager to learn, and I took one of each. And a consultant, a liaison professional from abroad, came to Greece with her family because her husband had to work in Greece, and with her help we became friends. And a bit later I also became a liaison professional, and this liaison from abroad went back home. The fact that I became a liaison a consultant or advisor enriched my life and made me feel that I was helping keeping the flame lit in a way and ardent when things wouldn't go right. And so at a certain point we became 10. But only when our statute was ready and when the league in Greece became a legal person, only then we were finally able to name our organization as Leche League Greece, an organization and association which was officially recognized in Greece. This took place in February 1995. When more Greeks became advisors, then things started shifting towards a better situation. Things started improving. And then one of the liaisons, 28 leaflets or brochures were translated in Greek for the mothers who were not able to read English. And this was a major step, because this was a dream, actually a dream that came true for me. Later, more translations were made, and more specifically, the material for coordinators, for liaisons took place. And we had a coordinator amongst us. And we had a phone line with a specific message providing the phone numbers of the consultant. During our first meeting, the first meeting of leaders, something happened. A mother with a young child, with a baby, who was trying hard to breastfeed. She took off her blouse, which was made of cotton, and which was a bit heavy though, and disturbed her. And so I was a bit shocked because she was naked, and we would teach women, mothers who were breastfeeding, we would teach them that it was nice to breastfeed in a discreet way. And I wanted to show her how to breastfeed without getting tired. So I put her blouse on her shoulders, covering her shoulders, and we went on. She went on breastfeeding. Last but not least, allow me to thank my husband for all those times he supported our association, our league. He knows what I mean. I'm sure he knows what I mean. And for allowing me to go to all those conferences without any objection. And till now, he keeps standing by my side, supporting me. This is where we find the power the strength to move on and to go on. We women, it's important to have a supportive partner. And now, today, here with you, on the occasion of this beautiful conference, together with Galaxias in Greece and in Crete, to be more specific. This is a wonderful occasion. Something that I'd like to say is blessings on all the babies. May God help all the babies, because I love them very, very, very much.